It's Lily and Caitlin back on a different episode in the same clothes.
Hey guys.
Pop Podcast.
Do you want a fidget toy?
Kind of, actually, yeah.
The pink one's loud as fuck, but I love it.
Oh, how loud?
Just pull the tentacles.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Do our first topic, which is unconventional sounds and sampling them and using them in music.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what's the weirdest thing that you think you've ever sampled?
I like using that whack-a-boom a lot. I have a... Pull up a picture of a whack-a-boom. Not a whack-a-boom, not a whack-a-boom. Take the picture of the whack-a-boom off. Put up a picture, it's a thunder tube. I love using a thunder tube.
My thunder tube.
Yeah, Caitlin's thunder tube.
Yeah, that's that's the instrument that I play, is the thunder tube.
Yeah.
And it's basically just this, it's this percussion instrument that is just a tube with a coil on it, and it sounds like thunder when you move the coil.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot.
No, it's a lot of fun. I've used it. We used it on Whiskey on the Rocks. A new song that is not out yet.
Pre-promo.
I think you played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Because I like one thing I like to do is like bend the coil, and then like it's weird. You like rub it against the body of it, and it makes this. It sounds like the world's smallest door creaking open. You know, it's you can use it for like fun textural thing. I've sampled trains a lot. I really like sampling trains because it's like one solid noise. So you can kind of like, if you take this is really technical. You take like the peak of the waveform, like where it's like one solid sound, and then you can like chop that. Like I've made like lead sounds. I use trains a lot on the last album I put out. There's a train. there's trains on I think 3 of the songs.
Shout out trains.
Shout out trains.
We love trains.
And then when you said that Caitlin was on that song with the Thunderstick,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you about collaborating with your friends and people in your life.
Oh,
do you prefer to collaborate or do you prefer solo work? And like, what's the positives and negatives of each one?
I prefer collaborating because, truthfully, I get so like fixated on certain ideas that it can be difficult for me to like, I guess, articulate them.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, what my usual method now, and I'll answer the rest of the question later. What I usually do now is like, because I have like a steady group of people that I work with, like with the living space and everything. I'll have an idea in my head, I'll go to them with it. If it bounces off, like if they don't really like it, cool, it's mine.
Yeah.
You know, but if they like it, it's theirs, and we can just tear it apart and do something else with it. If I'm making my own music, it's probably, most of the time, like it's been, like I've had something I wanted to say, I guess. Or like something that just like I don't think would work in a collaboration. It's like something very specific to like, I know if I gave it to someone else it wouldn't be what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, like it's too personal to share it. Or like you just need to be in control.
Yeah. It's not even that it's personal, it's really just like, I need it to be this.
Yeah. It's like you don't trust anyone else to execute the exact idea you have for it in your head or something.
Yeah, sure. It's
I
very...
have things like that where I
definitely enjoy working with other people more, because that's, I mean, like, collaboration at the end of the day, especially with music, like, it's, and I guess DIY art as a whole, it's meant to be shared and enjoyed with other people. Music is communal, so like when you make music with other people, and when you play it for other people, there's always a third party involved, and I don't know, I guess just like when you make it with more people, it usually turns out better anyhow.
Yeah.
Like, with my own music, it's very singular. With the last album I put out, it's very much like, a lot of the songs are kind of like, I don't want to say they're one thing, but it's not something like...
I feel like you do a lot of, like, I don't know, concept albums, or like...
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, with the last one, it was like the concept of like, just hell. Like, people who are in hell and stuff like that.
People being bad.
Yeah.
You know, I do love writing about bad people, so that kind of does come easy to me. But you know, it is having
shout out
like
my fave. What's it called?
Oil Be Back.
Yeah, shout out my fave.
It's
Oil
so
Be
good.
Back.
It's about an oil baron and it hits.
It's fun. It's a fun song.
Shout
one
out.
guitar note the whole way through.
Yeah.
I love it. And like that's the other thing too, is like doing strange things like that where it's like that's a song with one guitar note just going bow, bow.
Yeah.
You know, like if I had shown that to the guys, that would have bounced off immediately. You know what I mean? There's certain
Yeah.
things you like, especially if you work with other people enough, you can kind of come to realize like this is not gonna float. Like this is gonna immediately, you know, not succeed.
Yeah, and when it comes to like finding inspiration in random noises like trains or whatever, is it like always turned on in your brain, like everything's always inspiring you, or do you separate creation and like your creative time with other stuff, or is it just
there's
24/7?
no separation.
Yeah.
It's very much, it's like needing to eat, or you know, use the bathroom or sleep. It's just
I find that too. It's just like literally, it's like first nature, not second nature. Like I'm just
absolutely.
like, I need to do it.
Yeah.
I'll be at work, you know, just like walking around pulling weeds, doing whatever, and it's just it will get to a point where like it's frustrating because I'll have like the chorus of a song or like a verse idea just banging away in my head.
Yeah.
And like if I'm lucky, it'll be a day where we practice, or I'll, like if it's really bad, I'll shoot Shane a text and I'll be like, "We need to meet up. I have to get this out." It's like
emergency.
it's like the way I think of it, it's like having a giant zit on your forehead. It's like I need to pop this right fucking now. Like this is crazy. You know, it's but then there's times too. It's very much a tower of terror. Like I'll have month-long spans where I just like cannot do anything. You know, especially like I feel like with music, if you have nothing to say, you kind of have nothing to play. You know what I mean? Like it has to come from somewhere. I don't want to speak about physical art because that's your guys' realm. I don't want to get taken down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just filmed the DIY art episode, and like DIY music comes up, you know, we're talking about like the punk scene. What do you think are some like challenges and some things that are really, really good about like making your own music with no one to kind of like, you know, no one above you that's gonna, you know what I mean?
So, to start on the good is that when you're making it yourself, there's no one to tell you, you know, what has to be a certain way. No, we can't have the chorus be this long, or you know, just like little things like that with the music where it's like it's yours entirely. It can be whatever you want. Your own creativity and abilities to play, not even that anymore because of a lot of you know, software available to people and like how sampling has become huge. But I think you know, and even that's a skill. But it's entirely up to your own ability and your own creativity. So to start with the good, you know, there's no one to tell you basically how to be creative in your own way. It's entirely up to your own creativity and ability, and there's so many resources out there to, like, speaking musically, like, for you to do what you want to do, where if you could pirate a DAW and just go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when I was like 14, I started recording my own music, just like with voice memos, you know. Or
yeah, Colin's old projects from like middle school and high school are all on SoundCloud, by the way.
not all of them. Not all
But
of
a
them.
lot of them.
I think there's like 5 albums that only exist on CDs. But
yeah, and I have those CDs in my car.
That's the rarest material. The one thing that I think that sucks about making it yourself is that it, like, you will never get famous, or like, or at least like I don't want to call it a delusion, but like you're gonna feel like you're gonna really want it, and a lot of people who are in like bands and playing music out, I feel like there is this, like, I don't want to call it I don't know, it's like a shared psychosis of like, yeah, I'm gonna be famous, and
a delusion.
it's a delusion.
You have to be delusional to make art, I think.
You do, and it's very much like a fine line of like, if you carry that expectation with you, you're gonna be disappointed at every turn.
Yeah.
You know, and that can turn a lot of people away from it, and that's one thing that's like, it's that tower of terror of like expectation versus result.
Yeah.
Of like,
I was just watching something that said if you're not embarrassed by the first version of your product, then you didn't put it out early enough or something. Like, you're supposed to, like, you know, you have to keep moving. You gotta keep improving. You gotta keep putting stuff out. You can't be afraid to.
Yeah, and I think that is, to touch on I guess a previous question of like working with other people too, is like, it moves a lot slower. You know what I mean? When you collaborate, you have to be willing to put the time into it, like, especially with, you know, my own music and everything, it's like, I can just pump it out. You know, I was at a point for a while where it was like, okay, every year I had a new set of material that I'd put out as an album. And it was pretty routine, you know, like, even when I had more free time, it was like maybe 1 or 2 a year. And then it slowed down as like the real world has caught up with me.
That's a good thing to like talk about, is like, me and you both work, you know, full time. How do you like maintain a balance between creativity and work life?
Reality. Corporate reality.
I really don't. It's not healthy, because when I'm at work, I'm thinking about making music, and then when I'm home trying to make music, it's often overwhelming, being like, oh, I don't have time to finish this idea. Because,
or energy because of work.
Because I have work tomorrow.
That's what I was thinking of a project all day, and then you get home and you're like
exhausted.
Like,
can't move my body.
Family Guy sounds way better than actually putting an effort right now.
Oh, I'm just gonna sit.
There's definitely like times where it's like I want it bad enough, and I'll stay up late and like sleep through all my alarms because I just have to get this done. A lot of people don't have that just like incessant need that I do. So I guess you have to really want it, you know. You have to make time. And I know a lot of people, like especially in the production world, who have like set times. Like some producer guys are like nuts. I don't know how they do it. they're regimented. But you have to have like, okay, I know this day every week, like the Living Space practices on Sundays, I know I should have like a new idea every week that I can come with and we can work on. And I have very
disciplined.
Yeah, and I have all week to do it. And there's 4 of us now, so one of us is gonna have something. So if like I mess up and I don't have something solid, someone else will have something that's more concrete, and we can kind of mash them together and see what happens.
Yeah.
Another beautiful thing about collaboration.
Yeah. Right. More than one brain.
Yeah, and that's like, it moves slower to like finalize things and push things out, but like your idea flow is like you're just widening the pool.
Yeah.
You know, but you also have to like prune out bad ideas.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's good because you have more eyes on it, because like, you know, if there's something wrong that like someone isn't gonna notice, someone else will catch it, you know.
Oh yeah, well, so that is the other thing too. When you're working with artists, especially in like younger bands, it can be very hard to tell someone that the idea sucks.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I love working with Peter and Shane especially, because we've been working on music together for so long, where we can come up with an idea and one of us will be like, that is ass, dude, try again.
Yeah.
Like, and it's great. We can just do that, and it's not, there's no hard feelings at that point, because we've made so much music that we think is good, that it's like, I trust your judgment enough to know that my thing is bad.
Yeah.
You know? And that takes a while to get there.
I feel like I don't even have that problem, because me and Caitlin, like, we're always questioning what we're doing so much. It's not like, hey, I made this. And there's no way that we could be like, that's bad, because everything's phrased as a question like, what do you think about this? How can I make it better?
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
Because it's just a collaboration off the bat, so it does make it easier.
Yeah, and it can be, you know, it can be a tough thing to get into the mindset of, especially for people who, like no one's jumping into a band having never picked up a guitar before, or like written a song before, you know, like everyone's got kind of a repertoire of experience at least. So there can be this little bit of like just protecting what you think you're good at. You know, you can't have those walls. And like you have to understand that everyone else has a different opinion than you. Everyone has a different style than you. Like, you know, you have to be accepting of like, if I'm gonna work with this person and we're gonna work together to create one thing, right?
Yeah.
Or I think you guys have the beauty with like physical art is like you can be like kind of separate. you can make separate pieces and it fits together as the whole.
Yeah.
Whereas like with the living space, we each have a hand in every song. It's not like I'm not writing a whole song, bringing it to the band, we learn how to play it and put it out. Some bands operate like that, and that feels soulless to me.
Yeah, that's very robotic.
It feels like I'm a session musician. I don't care for it. Some people really do like it because then they can just learn a song, play it, and make it work.
Yeah.
And that's a little corporate for me. You know, it doesn't feel like a band.
Yeah.
But, you know, like when you're collaborating and you all have, you know, there's 4 people in the band. We're each 25% of every song. So to like have to put something out, be happy with it, everyone, you know, like we're not going to put something out if everyone's not 100% on it.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll re-record a whole song if we're like, dude, we kind of fucked up the drums and that fucked up the rhythm and the guitar and the bass. You know, it's a minor thing, but like I can see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've re-recorded whole songs just so that we're happy with it. You know, like we're very anxious people.
Yeah. But that's good. I think abandoning art is good it's a part of the process, you know, re-record it, start it over.
Yeah. And it's all like, we're not recording to tape, it's not like an expensive endeavor, which is nice.
Sure.
But it's just like, I'm not gonna tell them like if they're unhappy with something like, well, we have to put it out because, you know, we gotta appease this thing that doesn't exist, you know what I mean? Like,
right, there's no deadlines really for you.
Like we could do the thing that every other band does, and we're just keep saying big things coming, big things coming.
Yeah.
We don't ever have to have big things coming.
New album.
Yes.
Like, I'll plug that shit even if it doesn't come out. Like, you know. So it's just one of those things. Like when it's ready, you'll know. And then you won't know for 6 months because you'll keep remixing it and redoing it.
Yeah.
And then you'll know definitively again. Hopefully before you burn out.
Yeah. In moments where if you ever do feel burnt out from like making music and for you making art or singing, whatever, you do everything. And like what do you do to recharge yourselves in moments like that? Like I have like 3 movies that I'll watch the same 3 movies with like bomb soundtracks and then I'll like do something like go through one of my collections.
It's so funny you say that. In college, my like movie to get me out of a funk was Legally Blonde, and specifically that one, like just that montage scene of her like getting her shit together in law school. I was like, I can do this. Like, what, you know, just like anytime I felt like shit, and I haven't watched it in a while, and I've been in like a total funk, and I totally should. Like, I really should watch Legally Blonde.
Movies.
But yeah, no, I actually do usually I'll try to watch new movies, because then I've got like new ideas coming in, new visuals. I really like, I've been loving just Letterboxd. And just going through, like, making a giant watch list and then going through as many movies as possible. Because then, if I'm watching a movie, I also have to be doing something with my hands. And so I'm like, you know, it's just good for me. You know, and it's So I usually just try and watch, like, new movies that have, like, really awesome visuals or, like, really, I don't know, just, like, stuff I've heard really good stuff about. What about you?
I was going to say, like, a similar thing of just, like, I have to, if I'm burnt out from music, I have to pull myself away from it. Yeah. Until I feel that kind of like fire in myself.
Yeah, I haven't painted in 2 months. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? I'm gonna be so bad when I start doing that.
Well, it's important to explore like other interests so that you like don't, you know, come back to it too soon and then just make something that you hate and then reinforce like the negative, like self-doubt, you know? Because, like, that's, like, dude, hating what you make is just part of being an artist. Exactly. And especially if you try to force yourself to do something when you're burnt out, you're just going to hate it even more.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, I'll just pull myself away from it. I'll play video games. And, like, I don't know. Like, I'll try to, like, draw and shit and, like, write poetry and things like that. And then when I really feel like I have to write this song, like, when I know I'm there again when I have something banging around in my head and I cannot get it out. Or like if I get frustrated because I lost an idea, like that'll ruin my whole day.
Yeah.
And when it ruins my day, I know I'm like, I gotta fucking write again. I have to do this.
What else we need to cover? Album covers?
Yeah.
I set myself up. When I was going through my records, there was one, it was like a diamond necklace, or it's like the...
I love that.
Like the album cover, not the album name is in alphabet soup or something.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
always
love that. That's one that I'm like,
Yeah, I've always preferred album covers that are like that don't have text. I guess it's like a singular image that stands on its own. Like a lot of I'm gonna sound like a total dork to you guys, but a lot of like older like 70s prog albums. Like I think of like Tarkus, the Emerson, Lake and Palmer album. It's
See,
just
you're like, what do you need to fact check me? Like, no, I need to look up.
You were ready to fact check me. But it's this like armadillo, but it's like this big like mechanical thing. Like, that's so cool to me. I love that.
Yeah.
And there's no text on it. It's just like you know it when you see it.
Yeah, like if there's no text, you're like focused on whatever the image is.
It feels more like a product.
Yeah.
You know, and that to me, like I think of older records like. It was your record collection we were looking through because you have a lot of old like folk and blues and like big band stuff, and you can look it through the decades and you can see what era an album came out in because of how much text is on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Older like 50s and early 60s.
It's all text.
It's
all text.
What was I looking at? Something, and it was like it says like what each song's produced by, everything on it.
Yeah.
It was like Carole King produced some song, and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even know those people were alive at the same time. I didn't put it together.
It's so crazy.
But yeah, you can find out so much more stuff. It's way more fun.
Oh yeah, and if you look at the back cover, there's no like photograph. It's all the sales pitch on why this album is the best.
Yeah.
And then as you get into the 60s and artists like people always kind of point at the Beatles, but it was happening at the time too. Artists started to have more control. So you started to see more like, you know, album covers. Like it's a proper like photo that stands on its own. And then the back cover.
It's not like a product, it's a piece of art.
Yeah, and then the gatefold, and then in the 70s, everyone's on drugs. So music got a lot cooler.
Yeah.
You know, like you can tell what drugs were popular by like in the decades by the music that's coming out.
Yeah, because like psychedelics in the 70s, everything's like flowy. And then in the in the days of cocaine in the 80s, cocaine and poppers, everyone's like... Dun, 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 like just techno.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that was a reenactment by Caitlin of the 80s and 90s.
That was awesome.
And then like grunge.
Yeah, the heroin.
With heroin. Yeah. It's just so crazy the way that all of that like is so intertwined.
We're back on track. Every band, every musician is also a content creator who's selling products. You know, every artist who's trying to put something out is also trying to like sell themselves as a brand.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like appealing if you think about it for 2 seconds and then like a moment longer, and it's very sad because it's like, you know, that's it. I don't know.
You're right. It is appealing for a little bit. Like when I see someone with more likes, I'm like, damn, that's cool, and then I'm like. No, because like there's no connection there.
It's not people who are engaging with your art. It's not like with you guys. It doesn't correlate to like selling pieces or like more people coming out to your markets or anything like that.
Like I want 500 followers so bad, but every time a spam account follows, I remove the follower. I'm like, I don't want you though. I don't want you.
No, and it's very hard because like that's one thing too that I've learned is that no one is gonna care about your art the way you do, and.
I think that's why
I've tried.
The best thing you can do is be authentic, because then people. The best thing is like they can like feel empathetic to what you feel, so you have to be like authentic so people know how you feel about it. Or else how can you expect them to understand it?
No, absolutely. And like when I thinking about it, like that's always my favorite art. At least is just the stuff where it's like, oh, that's so personal. Like I can tell, you know, there's so much in that. Yeah.
Anytime I've been scared to put something out that's personal or like. Just intimate. I never regret it. I've never regretted it. I've regretted not. But I've never regretted times I've done it.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Alright guys, we're going to do a part 2 with Colin and maybe with Peter or Mitchell or Shane too for the Living Space episode. Bye.
Bye.
Podcast.